Okay, as far as I know it, we are live, hopefully, on all the streams. Welcome to the Tim Duncan schedule release live stream. I am Josh Paredes, or you can say Paredes, Joe. I don't know if you've been practicing.
Paredes.
There you go. I mean, you kind of
Paredes.
emphasized it a little. You can just say Paredes, like Paredes.
I had to roll my R's because I'm Mexicano, you know.
But yeah, I have some Project Spurs colleagues here. Joe Garcia is the one that's kind of been helping me with this whole thing. He does a lot of media stuff. You're going to be seeing him a lot, and you are seeing him a lot if you're connected to the Spurs community at all. So thank you for being here, Joe. Welcome.
Of course, it's always good, and thank you for inviting. I'm glad to be a part of this, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. And there's also Vicky Vix. She's another Project Spurs collaborator. So welcome, Vicky.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad you guys could join. I just wanted to have. What's up?
No, I said Vicky looks so good today with her now.
She's like in a photo booth.
You know, she's gonna model for us or something.
She's waiting till this show to have like a professional background.
Right, modeling career. She's gonna kickstart her modeling career.
This is your start. So this is all going to be about Tim Duncan. I know there's a game coming soon that's we're not going to really talk about because we're going to be focusing on the good times of the Spurs when Tim Duncan was leading us to 5 rings. And for the occasion, I have my it's like a Tim Duncan Loteria type shirt when he was the assistant coach for a year. My wife got it for me. It's very comfortable, and I wish he lasted longer as the coach, but I'm sure he's doing other things. And I think, Vicky, you have a jersey on, right? Nice. And Joe, you have something too?
Yeah, I got my.
It's just like him just yelling.
Oh,
nice.
Timmy.
Yeah. So the reason we're kind of doing this is because I have something called Tim Duncan Week that I'm going to be revealing, and it's going to be the whole schedule of the 8 posts I'll be doing during the week of his Hall of Fame induction. Actually, I believe Greg Popovich is talking about Tim right now to the media, or he was about an hour ago. So there's a lot of quotes you can find on Paul Garcia at Project Spurs is sharing all that stuff. So we can see all those quotes, but my stuff is going to be
a GoFundMe for the statue.
I mean, that's going to come. I know that has to come soon, right? We need to have. I'm just wondering what. It has to be him hugging the ball, I would assume.
True that.
Oh yeah.
I was about to ask what it should be, and then I thought of it in the middle of my question. So yeah, statue coming soon. Hopefully, maybe this can help propel it. This will be the start. But yeah, let me just talk a little bit about the project. It's going to be 8 articles over the week that he's the week leading up to his induction on the 15th. And I'm going to have, I'm going to be writing them across 3 different sites. So I'll get more into that later whenever I show the actual schedule. And then I'm going to be tweeting the schedule out for everybody to see. So just kind of what inspired me to write it in the first place. You know, I started following the Spurs in like 1998 or so. So it was pretty much in the prime time that you would want to be a Spurs follower because everybody knows what happened from 99 on for like the next 20 years. And Tim Duncan obviously was a focal point. So I just wanted to do something to honor like everything that he's kind of given me personally and the city and the team and just kind of how he's affected my life. So I started this like way back in December. I just started thinking of ideas, what to write about. And I thought of some pretty good stuff that's pretty lengthy and it's going to show a lot about his career and kind of like people he dominated, you know, his memories against certain players that are also being inducted. So I think it's going to be really fun to share with everybody. And I just kind of wanted to mark this occasion. So let me start with you, Vicky. How long have you been following like the Spurs? Has it been the whole time since Tim's been there, or did you kind of get in there later, a little bit later?
Okay, so I would say I've been following the Spurs since I was little. Like I don't even know how old. because my parents still are huge Spurs fans. So I remember watching games, not really knowing anything that was going on. But I remember when Tim Duncan joined, like when the Spurs drafted Tim Duncan, I was like in kindergarten or something.
Oh
And
my.
I knew, I mean, I
Girl
knew
just
it
got
was a big
depressed.
deal. I know. I knew it was a huge deal that, they were getting this like big player. And, as a little kid, I was just like, oh, cool. The Spurs got this guy. So I remember like vaguely games, like a few of his first few games. And then, of course, the 99 championship, I remember like crazy.
I was 7.
Yeah. I actually was. It was 7.
And that was, so I'm laughing.
I think I was in 5th grade, so I wasn't that. Yeah, I remember I had the shirt with the with like the caricatured team on it, the white shirt.
I want one of those. I got the championship shirt. I still have it.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I've done that 5 times now, going for championship gear. So it's always been fun.
Waiting at Academy after the championship.
Yeah.
Yes. Or JCPenney's used to have it. So.
Yeah. And Joe, I feel like you've probably been following him his whole career.
Yeah, I've been following the Spurs for quite some time, but Tim Duncan, I've been following him for, almost his whole career. I remember the talk about the number 1 recruit in Tim Duncan, even prior to the Spurs drafting him. There was a lot of talk about him and the way that he was playing for Wake Forest back then. So definitely somebody that I kept an eye on. I just never imagined that he would actually be at San Antonio Spurs. We just got so lucky. It was Spurs fans nowadays think it's tough now. It was a tough season back then because we had lost Sean Elliott. We didn't have David Robinson. We lost him due to injury. And we had to go and get one Dominique Wilkins. And he was playing overseas to come over here and play a season with the San Antonio Spurs. And it was just, the rest was history. The Spurs, I believe they only won 26 games that season. And we had no business getting that number 1 pick in the draft. And we just got it. And everyone was shocked, surprised. I'm sure the Spurs front office just was beside themselves. They're like, oh my God, we got a player. We can go after a player now that's going to change the franchise. And lo and behold, they winded up getting Tim Duncan, and he made an immediate impact. It's unheard of nowadays when you think about it. Coach Pop giving a rookie run. We see the way things have translated, and most recently in this season. And rookies don't really get a lot of playing time when you play with one Coach Pop, but it goes to show you the caliber of player that Tim Duncan really was.
Oh yeah, I think it was safe to make him an exception to that that whole thing.
Definitely.
And it shows that it is possible to make it as a rookie with him. It's just you got to be that kind of caliber. Maybe not quite as Hall of Famer, but maybe close to it.
I remember the 99 championship run because we were always disappointed because we could never get past the Lakers. So I remember watching it with a bunch of my family and friends, and I just didn't believe that they were going to beat the Lakers. I'm like, no, the Lakers are going to find a way to beat us. It's always been like that. Yeah. And I was hoping they would win, but I was like, it wouldn't surprise me the Lakers find a way to win. And lo and behold, when they finally started, pulling away and then they finally won, I was just couldn't believe it. Everybody was so excited. I just remember the cheers of jubilation. And then you go outside in the front yard and you see all the neighbors coming out and everybody's celebrating and so excited that they finally beat the Lakers and they moved on. It was just one of those special times that you're never going to forget, because that's really when things changed, not only for the franchise, but for the city as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very impactful championship run that they had. And I don't think the city was ready for what was going to happen. We kind of had an inkling that they could reach the promised land, but when they finally did, it was like, wow,
definitely unexpected, but man, he saved the franchise. They could have ended up moving. So
they could have moved somewhere else.
Yeah. This is kind of why it's like, I got to mark this occasion in some way. So that's why I wanted to do this. So are you guys ready to see the schedule? And then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and then I will be tweeting this after. So. here is, and then let me bring it up here, and then I will kind of adjust it like this. Can everybody?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I wanted to thank Mac Penn doing this graphic for me. He's also a Project Spurs colleague of ours.
Shout out
So
to
he
you,
did
Mac.
he did a great job on this. Love the color scheme, the Fiesta. Love the older and a little bit younger and a little bit older Duncan on there. So shout out Mac, thanks for that. But let me just read through it real quick, and then I will just kind of briefly talk about them. So beginning on the 9th, these are all going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern, so 8 San Antonio time. I'm going to be counting down the top 10 players Duncan dominated. The next day, the top 10 opponent quotes on Duncan. The 11th, the top 10 moments versus Kevin Garnett, because he's also being inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's going to be a Project Spurs article. And so is the one on the next day, top 5 Duncan versus Kobe moments. Both of those are going to be on projectspurs.com.
You made me cry talking about Kobe, man.
I know. I won't get too much into that. It's too sad.
Yeah.
But the next day, the 13th, is going to be funniest Duncan moments ever. I'm going to be kind of sharing some funny stuff I've seen, some clips and stuff. That's going to be on Spurned, my site, which I've kind of neglected recently because I've been too busy with all this other stuff. But it'll be on there. Eventually, I'll get more traction on that and start posting on that more. The last 3 are all going to be on airalamo.com. Starting with on the 14th, fans sharing their favorite Duncan memories, kind of like you just did, Joe. And it's going to be written stuff from Spurs Twitter people, from other collaborators, people from Pounding the Rock, stuff like that. And then the last 2 are actually both going to be on the same day that he's inducted. It's going to be his stat stuffing his games, which is every season I looked through the box scores and found his best stats, in my opinion. So like obviously 2003 is going to be that finals game because that was crazy.
Yeah, they took away his triple or quadruple double.
I know they took. I mentioned that too. They took that away, man. Someone has a video evidence of that he had 2 more blocks than they gave him. Yeah, I'll get into that. But then the last one's going to be Tim by the numbers. I'm just counting down from 21 to 1. Obviously, his number. For this one, I kind of got creative with it. I'm kind of like giving some stuff that people might not know about and I'm associating them by numbers. So, 16. He was 16 years old whenever he apparently played Alonzo Mourning to a draw in a pickup game. So I never heard that before. So that's going to be kind of the stuff you're going to find in that. I'm not just going to have all, the stuff you see, like 5 rings, all that stuff. It's going to be kind of more in depth and make you learn about his career. So that's going to be the schedule. And I'm going to tweet this after we get off the air here. And then at the bottom, you can see how they have the different sites they'll be on. They're color coded. So you can find it out that way. But also just following me on Josh810 on Twitter. I'll be posting these each day. So I can leave that up for a bit, but anything stick out to you, Joe, that you're excited to read or?
Yeah, to me, I'm interested about, the KG moments and Kobe moments, because I know they had a bunch. And there was a bunch of, let's say, playoff moments against the Lakers, especially, with Kobe and Duncan respectively, just, lighting it up for the respective teams. And then I just remember Kevin Garnett and him just always wanting to get under Tim Duncan's skin. And one of the things that really upset Kevin Garnett is that he could never get him shook. He would try his best, get in his face, try to push him, whatever, and he would just smile and laugh, and Kevin Garnett most of the time would wind up getting tossed or get a technical foul, but he would even said on his show that he had that was already canceled now on TNT. He said that, he would get him upset that he could never get under his skin. That would really upset him. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. And of course, the stat stuff in this games, that I'm always a stats guy too. I like to look at the stats. So interested to see what you're going to do there. And of course, memories, like we just shared right now too. So interesting to see what the fans remember about Tim Duncan,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is going to be plenty of Garnett stuff in multiple articles. I can already tell you because there's opponent quotes, kind of a little foreshadowing because you mentioned about how he could never get under Tim's skin. There's the KG moments, obviously. There's going to be people he dominated. So he'll be on there a lot. You'll see a lot of KG stuff. And I get to kind of a little bit because I never really liked how he behaved on the court. He was a great player, but that's a whole other thing.
That was his persona. You know, a lot of NBA players,
yeah,
they had their on court personas, and that was Kevin Garnett's. That's what he needed to do in order to get in his mode, you know, his game mode. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, after the game, I'm sure that he was a cool dude, but while he was on the court, he wanted to destroy you, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Vicky, anything stick out to you?
Yeah, I'm excited to see TD's stuffingest games. Because, you know, I mean, I was very little when he started, and I feel like I kind of took it for granted most of the time. When I started realizing really how great of a player he was, I was, you know, well, no, I mean, I was probably like 10, but but I remember being like very, very honored that we had this guy, you know, the greatest power forward of all time on our team. So
everybody should be saying that. Yeah.
Yes, everyone should say it. So I'm excited to see that because I know there's a lot of stuff I missed that I didn't realize he was doing. Like, you know, I took for granted the fact that he basically had a double-double every single game. It was just like, oh, yeah, a big guy's supposed to do that, but they don't.
Not lately, Vicky.
Right. That one I'm definitely looking
that's
forward
the thing.
to.
It's a thing of the past. Now they're all shooting threes and stuff. So
and he could
the majority of them.
Remember, Tim Duncan shot some threes in his career.
Yeah, that might be in the best memories, and maybe a couple other occasions.
Yes.
I want to see.
Yeah, that's a popular one.
And that Vicky, were you sporting a Tim Duncan shirt or something?
When I was little?
Yeah.
I had a David Robinson jersey when I was little. Okay. He was my favorite. And then you know, I would get every year they got the championship. I have all those shirts. I still have them.
You probably fit still.
I do. I still wear them. I became like a fanatic when I was 10 in that season. It was the 2002-2003 season. And I was like obsessed. I watched every single game. I would record them, watch them. It was just like this night and day thing for me one year to the next. So that year was really the year that I was like, wow, we have Tim Duncan.
Do you have any like Tim Duncan gear that you vividly remember when you were a kid, or David Robinson gear for that matter?
Me?
Are you talking to me or Vicky?
I was talking to Josh. Like, did you remember wearing any of that?
Honestly, the first one that comes to mind is that character one, because that was just the championship one. As specifically Tim Duncan, probably just jerseys. Mm-hmm. I remember I had one that got like so. I wore it so often, and like it just like started to like dissolve.
Man!
I think I might have to throw it away at this point because it was like not even black anymore.
I would put it in a frame. I would put that one in a frame.
Yeah, it's long gone. It's ash right now. I don't know where it is now, but I've gone through a lot of Duncan jerseys. I still have a couple like in my closet. So yeah, he's been a big influence in my life. He was like part of like a lot of my usernames on like AOL and my passwords and stuff. It's like so obviously you can see where
you want to share one of your usernames with us. Now you got me intrigued.
I had my Yahoo Messenger was. Keep in mind I was like 13 or something.
Okay.
My Yahoo. Because even Yahoo Messenger, nobody knows what this. No. It was T Duncan Rules 21, but it was rules
with a Z.
It was rules with a Z. Yes, you know it. It has to be, right? And that. So that's the kind of thing we're dealing with here. I would love to hear other like. I need to ask that on my Twitter. If anybody had like embarrassing usernames, Spurs related or Duncan related,
NBA
when they were growing up. Yeah, Duncan 420. Like
oh my.
Yeah, so I had T Duncan rolls. I think I even had Duncan rolls too. Like I had to get a separate one for some reason. And so you could see, and then a lot of my passwords had 21 in it, which I mean they don't anymore, so don't bother trying to hack any of my stuff because I've already gone through all that. Yeah, it's just been a staple in my life. So
Aw.
it's going to be really special to see the David Robinson giving the welcoming Tim to the Hall of Fame and his speech. I'm sure he's probably not going to say a whole lot, but it's going to be. I'm excited for that day, and that's the day I'm going to have 2 posts go up. So
Are you going?
it's going to be.
Who's going to the game?
I don't have tickets for it.
Either.
I do stuff on the side. I do stuff on the side where they send me to games because I have a separate job, but unfortunately they haven't given me that one. But I know, right? But I mean, it's okay because it's not like he's gonna be there. It's just kind of like a commemorative one. So
He might.
Are you, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, that's awesome.
I should have a ticket right the way I can make you and Josh fight over it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll just like start raining money on you.
Right.
Well, let me shout out the chat real quick because Dylan Hunter Carter, I used to. He was my side expert at Air Alamo, and thank you for joining and commenting a little bit here. He's amped for it. He's a huge Tim Duncan fan too. I know. I was actually going to try to get him involved in this too, but it was kind of the scheduling and then the amount of people I could have on this didn't quite work. So thank you for still stopping by and supporting it, Dylan. And also Eli Sanchez, you follow me on Twitter. I know you always liking my stuff and retweeting it. So he says he has a Sildy Keldon Top Shot username, which is a current thing. I hope if you want to reveal it, if you want to chat it by the time we end this, I'd love to hear it. I'm sure it's something like Mustang or Big Body or something. Yeah. But yeah, I think I have Top Shot too, but I think mine is just generic. I just use like Josh810 for a lot of stuff, which is what my Twitter is. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see if you can get that up there. But in the meantime, I think that probably wraps it up. Any final words on Tim Duncan in general, Vicky?
Yeah, I think for all the fans out there, everybody who is down on the way things are going now, just be super grateful. We had so many years with Tim Duncan because honestly, it was, we were spoiled as Spurs fans. And I think that, that's just, it'll come again. But I think that he's definitely going to go down in my heart as like one of the best of all time. And I don't think anyone will ever compare to him. He was just awesome. I know I was like heartbroken when he retired, even though I saw it coming, as I'm sure you were too, Josh. But yeah.
That's when I finally threw my jersey out. No, it was way before that.
Yeah, but just check all this stuff out because I think that it's a great tribute. It's going to be a great tribute to what we're celebrating. Tim Duncan, Hall of Fame. Woohoo! Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Joe, what about you?
Let's hear this. Congratulations, Tim, because we love you.
Oh, obviously. Yes. Yes. It goes without saying. Joe, what about you?
Eli did share his username.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You can share it.
He says Keldon's _and _scream. So I like that one. I like.
He needed underscores in there.
Yeah,
someone had the right original, I guess.
Probably, So no, Tim Duncan to me, just he's going to be a player that was, I think, one of the most impactful players, not only in the NBA as far as being a power forward, but also one of the most impactful players to ever come and play with the San Antonio Spurs and don the silver and black. One of the things that I'll always remember is going to be one of the pictures that you always see running around on social media when you type in Tim Duncan. And that's going to be him, going up for a dunk on that Fiesta themed court that was in the Alamo Dome, because that's where I remember seeing a lot of my, Tim Duncan games back in the day was, going to the Alamo Dome and enjoying these games on that Fiesta colored court that we will never see that color scheme ever again. And to me, that would be cool if they're going to have that Hall of Fame inauguration, ceremony. They could have a projector and like project the old court on the current court. That would be really cool.
Oh my God.
That might make the ugly cry.
Yes.
For sports and entertainment.
Yes.
Get with Joe about this. That would be awesome.
I talked to them one time about that, and the
yeah.
stupid thing is, I was in a meeting with the Spurs at one point in time, and we were talking about ideas, things that they could do for the fans, and I had mentioned to them use that projection technology, kind of like the same thing that the Hawks were doing at that time, and they said,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
we're going to copy somebody else. I'm not. That's not copying, because you can do anything you want to with the projection technology. But it was not meant to be. But I had given them that idea a while back, but they just didn't want to roll with it. So whatever.
Whatever. I'm not bitter.
Not bitter.
Maybe one day, hopefully. Another shout out, Michael De Leon. Thank you for stopping by. He's the one that's giving me a shot with Project Spurs. Helped me get this off the ground also, because I'm writing a couple in Project Spurs. I help run their social. So if you see some updates tonight when the Spurs probably lose to the Jazz, then you'll see. I'll cross my fingers. You never know.
Yeah, as long as they don't get blown out by 40, I'm good, man. It's a win in my book.
They just need to be 10th. That's my opinion. So
Get
as long as the
wins,
Pelicans,
however you can, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So thanks for being here, Michael, for stopping by. I'm very excited to drop this soon. It's going to be this Sunday. Is going to be, or yeah, on the 9th is going to be when the first one comes out. Look for it every day on my feed, Josh 810. I'll be sharing those, and if you want to follow Air Alamo and Project Spurs also, those are going to be posted daily, but you'll also see them on at Josh 810.
I just an idea just popped into my head, Josh. I think I'm putting a contest for Tim Duncan Week on my social media platform, and what I
oh hell yeah, there you go,
on Twitter. And what I want is I'm probably going to ask fans to send in pictures of their pets wearing a Tim Duncan jersey or something.
What?
And the best one will get something. That would be cool. That would be cute.
Nice.
The little doggos dressed up in TD swag.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, you said that recorded, so it's a verbal contract. Yeah, now I'm going to hold you to that.
It's going to be fun. I want to see the doggos.
Yes, I mean, great idea. My wife is going to be all over that. We're going to want to see that. I actually have I think it's a Duncan jersey for my bigger dog.
Cool.
But I'm not sure how much it fits him anymore, because he was already kind of outgrowing it. Yeah, so maybe we'll have to get him another one. Maybe we'll do it for this contest, even though I'm pretty sure it's a conflict of interest. Anyway,
going to go and borrow somebody's dog and put him in the
Put it in my Build-A-Bear jersey, Tim Duncan jersey.
You go to PetSmart and go and play with the dog and put a jersey over there on the dog at PetSmart. It's not.
But yeah, so lastly, again, I'm at Josh 810. I've said it like 10 times. Joe Garcia, you can find him. You're at Two Shots Podcast. Is that right?
Yep, all spelled out. Not the number 2, but TWO, Two Shots Podcast.
Awesome. And you have a lot of stuff coming. You're coming out with stickers and all these like merchandise.
Got a lot
very recent.
I got leggings, Vicky. You can go to my shop and buy leggings. We got all sorts of stuff there.
Yay! I have to. You have a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. It is available.
And then
Vicky.
and Vicky, you are at the Vicky Vix.
Yes,
I know you like to spell it out. Go ahead.
VICKIE Vix VIX.
Nice. So you can follow her. They're both great for Spurs Twitter. I work with them a lot, and you'll see us on Spurs Rewind often. But I'm glad you were able to make it for kind of my own little personal thing that I'm trying to put together that's going to involve Project Spurs and a bunch of other stuff. So I think that about wraps it up. I'm looking forward to sharing this with everybody. And thanks again to Joe and Vicky for being here. And let's go watch the Spurs soon.
Go Spurs. Go.
All right. Bye.